What's good, everybody? We are back. It is your boy Jarod and your girl Gabby, episode 97 of the Kicks and Shit Show. Loving our studio with our air horns. You know, this is my jam. I love all this. Anyway, how are you, Gabby? What's going on in those streets? Based on the look behind you and
I'll
the
focus on the look behind me, okay?
and the halfway fading sun, I'm going to guess you're right across the river from me here in New Jersey.
Yes, Strad, you didn't see me waving from the other side of the river this morning. I am back in New York. That's true. I'm here for a couple weeks, which is nice. Excited to not be running around for a minute to decompress. Feels good to be home. I think, as much fun and excitement as there is traveling, it's no place like home.
Yes, often better to be in your own bed, your own routines, your own stuff, your own space. It's just like, all right, man, cool. I'm doing me. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So what else is happening in these streets? Were you no, yes, maybe you were. Were you at a playoff hockey game recently?
I was, Gerard. And I will say, and hear me out on this one. I blame the Mets for how the Rangers' first playoff game went. Because, New York, everything's competitive. One sport wants to be better than the next. And the Mets had a doubleheader that day. So you know what? The Rangers, NHL, they decided to be like, we're also going to have a doubleheader that day and go into triple overtime. And for those that are not as close to hockey, overtime and playoff hockey, I mean, it's like playoff basketball. It's almost like a different sport, a different level of competitiveness. Even like the refs back off a little bit, kind of let the game happen. It's just a different game. And playoff hockey is no different, but each overtime period is a 20-minute full period.
Yes. You had 3 more periods.
3 more periods, aka
a whole game.
Double header, aka it's a long game when the YMCA is played during one of the intermissions, and it is the full song. Maybe if you guys DM me, I'll show you some of that footage of your girl rocking out. It was like my first bar mitzvah at MSG.
My first bar mitzvah at MSG.
Yeah. But I mean, it was unfortunate because the Rangers ended up losing that game.
Tough one.
I know how tired I was, so I feel for both teams. Like, that's a lot of hockey, so I'm intrigued to see how tonight's game goes.
Well, that's my question. Like, you played basically 2 games. Not basically, you did. You played 2 games and 2 playoff intensity games, and you only had 24 hours recovery in between. Like, or I guess technically 48 because you had 1 day off. Like, that's, I mean, come on, NHL, schedule that better. You got to go like early in a hockey series, 2 days off in between something.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think, as we're recording the show, it is Cinco de Mayo. And also game 2 for the Rangers Penguins series. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game on both sides to see from an energy level perspective. I hope the guys were able to rest, but
it's going to be a tough turnaround.
So that
it's going to be a tough turnaround. Shouts to Rangers goalie Igor Shesterkin. I mean, damn, like had like a million saves, not a million, like 70 something, but still, like it's just kind of like hell of a game, tough one to lose. Were you working or just attending? Okay, you don't have to say. You don't say. You're like
both.
Okay. I didn't.
I mean, weekday games, Jay, and I know you guys don't necessarily know, but as I've started this new-ish job, I do have a little bit less availability, especially during a weekday game. So, bless my Rangers family for having a flexible schedule as well. I was working the game, but wasn't there for the full pregame.
Okay.
Setup on our side.
Gotcha.
I mean, we've had our team though. It's been Rangers Town. There's a hockey house outside of the Garden.
Oh, cool.
DJs at every entrance of Penn Station. It is a whole vibe. It's a party. My New York fam, please check it out because we will be going into Game 5 when this episode comes out. But yeah, it's a whole vibe.
Yeah. Well, that is exciting. Good for you. Kudos. What else is happening in these streets?
How's your week been, Jay?
Good. NBA playoffs have been fantastic. The Golden State Warriors Memphis Grizzlies series has been really, really entertaining. The Warriors, that kind of veteran squad, and all that championship DNA and know-how. and John Morant, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the we ain't ducking no smoke. We climb all the way up the chimney, like
See it.
doing their thing, not backing down, not afraid. That series is 1-1. Game 3 will be over this weekend. By the time this episode comes out, it would have already happened. Actually, by the time this episode comes out, we should be through game 4 by the time that comes out. So the series might look very interesting by then. We'll see where that's at. Otherwise, I'm enjoying this nice turn of weather. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like the winter coats can go away now. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one of those people that has like the storage bins with my winter clothes. Like, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
you keep them handy just in case.
Absolutely. I mean, you know how it is here, though. Like,
Yeah.
New York will do you dirty. Like, there's that freak week in like the beginning of March. It'll be like 65 degrees. Everybody's clothes come off, except for me because I'm like one layer away from a burqa pretty much all year round. But it's and then it snows. Like, I mean, we've had different like weather, snow, all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, I'm hoping we're over the hump. But
yeah,
you never know.
You never know. You are right about that, but it is May. So, you mentioned Cinco de Mayo Day we're recording this. Memorial Day will be coming up in a few weeks. So we are starting to head towards that time of year where everybody gets excited, maybe they start showing off those new fits. Maybe they start showing off those summer bods if they are ready yet, like whatever.
Summer bods. Relax with that. Do you like how I said that right after like stay ready so you don't have to get ready? Like, it's funny. I always joke. I'm like, I think I gained the COVID-19 during this time. People are like, you have COVID? I'm like, everybody relax, take a joke.
I gained the COVID-19.
Allergies are getting to you guys a little bit, that your humor radar is not so great, but I think that's pretty clever. But, I stick with 4 C's instead of 3 these days, but that's okay. I think there's so many sneaker launches these days that I'm going to have those sneaker streets. You know what I mean?
We are getting, we are in spring. So it's time for, looking at, we talked about this a couple episodes ago, different purchases we're looking forward to. I mentioned this summer, some more Puma Low Suedes, Stan Smiths. As you know, the the Jordan 7 hair 2.0s that look like an Easter bunny. Those are out now because it's it's got that vibe, right? It's the faux rabbit leather, right? The gray with the pink tongue looking like ears on the inside of a bunny. So all those fun colors and those things that I look forward to are starting to make their way back out. Maybe things like, at least for me, and not anybody do whatever they want, things like the cement 3s and those are kind of getting moved back inside now for, fall, winter, and more of that's me for the spring, summer looks.
Yeah, I think I'm like, this is where the time of year where I start to switch some of the highs out for the mids and the lows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised, Jarod, you didn't have on your list the Hello Kitty collab that Nike's doing. Your girl is all about trying to get her hands on a pair of those.
What? Wait, because I like the hair 2.0s, I want Hello Kitty? Heck no.
I have like the Sanrio within arm's reach at all times. So very excited about that. I also think, the Supremes that just dropped in the Zoom flight, that's one of my favorites.
That's your jam.
I like the creativity because that's not normally a silhouette that's used as a canvas in the way that Supreme did.
Mm-hmm.
But I know like a lot of the retros that are coming out that I've had my eye on,
mm-hmm.
I still think there's a bit of time. Like the silver bullets, I can always use another pair, and same with those Zoom flights. So
as the weather's also changing, Gabby, the links starting to get back out on that golf course, and Nike and Jordan Brand are doing some real cool. So Jordan 5 lows that are looking real nice. Like they got some nice golf shoes that are looking sweet. So I may have to go ahead and cop me a pair because again, if your game is gonna be trash, at least you look fresh when you're out on the course.
I was gonna say, I feel like you're wearing your tiger red today. Now that we're talking about golf, so I am here for it. I also love the Air Maxes that are coming out in the golf shoes and the different prints. There's one that gives me like Atmos vibes with the animal print that I think are a whole mood.
Animal print's not really my jam, but
Nike's doing some cool stuff though, and actually, like our man's Jacques Slade, I don't know if you saw, but when he was out at the Hype Golf event out in Palm Springs, our man's was rocking a custom pair of Union Dunks turned into golf shoes, and I was like, if you guys are not paying attention to golf from a sneaker perspective,
man,
take off the glasses, wipe the sleep out of your eyes, get ready, because that's where things are starting to shift.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's interesting to watch kind of how that space is evolving, especially when it comes to sneakers.
Yeah, and shout out to our guy Slade, recent guest on the show. He's obviously a legend in the sneaker game. Sure, you guys all follow him and knows what he's got on his feet. And there we
And
go,
what
there
he's
we
been
go.
launching, you guys.
Sneaker wet wipes. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram at Cousteau. He's the man. Shout out to Slade. All right, Gabby. Coming up next, we have a guest who touches the world of jewelry as well as sneakers. So that's pretty exciting. And when
Yeah.
I think of jewelry and sneakers, I always think about the Swarovski crystals on those on those Adidas.
I like that that's where your head goes because mine is like strictly for Cuban links. You know what
Well,
I'm saying? Like the 90s Cuban. So
and there, folks, that is the dynamic that we have working on this show. All right, folks, stay tuned. Coming up next, special guest. What's up, y'all? We are back. Gabby, we're not alone. We are joined by celebrity jeweler, the host of Frostbites, a sneaker connoisseur, a man about town here in these New York City streets, Mr. JFrost. How are you, sir?
How are you? Nice to see you guys. Nice to be on this. It's a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Of course. We're happy to have you. So listen, man, we start with this at this spot with everybody.
Okay.
When did you first fall in love with sneakers?
Okay, so I first fell in love with sneakers at a very young age. So I would say elementary school is where I started like really like noticing it, getting into it. But I was always as a kid, like I look back at old pictures, I had Jordans on when I was like a little kid. Like my mom put me in some shit. I don't know, man. But as I got into like elementary school is where I started like it used to catch my eye. And at the beginning of the school year, I was able to go and get one white pair and one like dark color pair for the year. So I would always look forward to that, but I would be picking out some good shit. You know?
So you were lucky on that end, able to mom was keeping you fresh and tight in some nice J's there. So at that stage, right? So elementary school. So what were you rocking? What were the pairs that you remember going out and getting with those young days?
So I'm not gonna front, like as much as I was excited about it, it wasn't the good shit yet. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, whatever I could get my hands on. Definitely was Nike, but it wasn't like till I got a little bit older where I was able to grab like the Jordans and the basketball sneakers and stuff like that I liked.
But I feel like for most kids, because growing up in New York, Gabby, like for us in the city, like start school year school shopping, it was almost always Nike when you went to the sneaker store, right? Like that. I mean, for me, maybe every once in a while you might cop an Adidas or something, but it's really Nike primarily.
It was when I was a kid. It was like Nike. I would like to say Fila. It was a lot of. There was a lot of LA Gear.
Yep.
LA Lights.
BK Dimacells, remember those?
Yeah, those were there. There was definitely like Reeboks and stuff, but for the most part, it was like Nike was the thing. You wanted to grab those,
Well, Gabby, I told you this story. Like when the Reebok pumps were popular, my mom was like, "You ain't getting no Reebok pumps." I got the LA Gear Pump bootleg version, and I was like, "I can't wear this shorts to school."
Those were fire back in the day.
The Gears were fire, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I definitely had a pair of those at some point.
100%. If it's promoted on Double Dare, it is a fire pair.
Double
That
Dare.
for me was where I learned about sneakers when I was like little before basketball.
Oh my God. All right. So you're a young kid, you're copping, some nice pairs. When do you really start getting into like, ooh, let me get these J's and let me really when was that happening?
So okay, so elementary school I was definitely getting into like the basketball sneakers, Nike, like the Pennies, Pippins, and things like that, because that was stuff I really gravitated towards. Junior high, I got my first pair of I remember getting my first pair of Jordans in junior high that I like actually bought myself and remember it was the black and the bread fours. We didn't call them bread fours at the time. It was just
Right.
black, red, and white fours. That's some new shit. This bread, all this stuff. But yeah, and I remember like just liking kind of like the simplicity of it, how it didn't have all the wild stuff on it, but it was just like a really neat, clean shoe.
I mean, the four is a dope silhouette.
And I think that was like a test of the time. Like I like that you say that because we talk a lot about like what is that kind of next wave of player franchises that are going to really like take off, right? Like there's a lot of LeBrons, but it's just not the same. But at that time, like you're totally right. The pennies were really streamlined and a beautiful shoe. The Pippins, it was something that was about style, not just about the functionality.
Yeah.
So I really love that. Were you rocking Uptowns though?
Always. I actually have a pair of Air Forces on right now. That's like, that goes without saying, you know, you always have to have those on deck. But you know, okay. So like, I'm not into like the hype, right? I like sneakers because that's something that I just genuinely enjoy, you know? And for me, it was never about like, oh, this is what everyone's going for. Like, I'm going for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to this day, like don't get me wrong. If there's a hype pair that I really genuinely like,
you're like, yeah, I'm going to go for that.
Because it's the, you know, the Off-White, or because it's the Louis collab, whatever it is. Like, it's not, unless I love it.
I'm with you. All right. So you're a young man about New York City doing your thing. You got fresh kicks on. How do you transition from a young student, you know, to then becoming a celebrity jeweler? Like, what? Give us that journey.
Celebrity jeweler. All right. So I don't ever. First off, the whole celebrity jeweler thing and all that stuff, all that is just, I don't know. To me, that's a little weird because I'm not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, like, I used to do I had a sale. I'll make it short and sweet, right? I had a sales job. I was working. I'm from Brooklyn, obviously. I was working, though, at the time in Staten Island, and we moved offices into Manhattan. I was working not too far away from the Diamond District. Love jewelry my whole life. My nickname is JFrost for that reason. I had the nickname since I'm 14 years old because I used to wear a lot of jewelry. It was like silver and shit, but whatever. You get
whatever. I got you.
Yeah. So I would walk to the Diamond District when we had like this little break before we'd go out to the field and sell our stuff. And that's literally where I met Greg. Greg just was getting in the game with some family. And you know, I actually the first. This is good that we're talking sneakers. The first thing we ever spoke about, me and Greg, was sneakers. He had on when I met him, he had on a iced out Converse pendant. Converse, or the Chucks, right?
Yep.
And I was like, fuck, I want to buy that, but I want the Air More Up-Tempo Pippins like that, which is my favorite sneaker of all time. Okay. I made that pendant. That's the first thing we did, like, ever. You know, like, that's the first thing that he made for me, basically. And then the rest is history. I ended up quitting my job, starting there, and, you know, everything after that. And, yeah. So.
And for everybody out there, Greg, of course, is Greg Yuna he's referring to. And look, like, Gabby, I was actually hoping that once he started saying Diamond District, you would do your drop. But I was waiting for it. You know.
Drop?
Well, she does it.
Oh, my Anka Jam.
Yes.
I mean, shouts to Greg Yuna for having a cameo in Uncut Jams as well.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
shouts to the Flawless Era. You know what I'm saying? But
yes, I was waiting for the Uncut Gems reference.
That's how you know it's been a long week, Jay. Is that normally I pick up on.
All good. You did it very well, also. So.
Thank you. I've been practicing. I love that though. And I think, you know, we talk a lot in this show about how sneakers are a connector in a lot of unique and different ways. And I know, like, over the years, like, you and Greg have done a few pieces that do connect to both of those things, whether they're like made for your feet or like made to be worn like as a pendant, as like other different pieces. So I would love to hear a little bit more just about some of those like custom pieces over the year and kind of how that got you to where you are now.
Yeah, well, actually, I'll talk about, so my favorite thing that we did sneaker wise, well, probably one of my favorites. We were able to do Air Max Con years back. I think it was like maybe 5-6 years ago. We did Air Max Con, and we had our own booth there, and we were showing the process of making an Air Max pendant.
That's dope.
So I forgot which one it was. It was like the new, what was it? The Air Max Zero they came out with. Remember they dropped the Air Max Zero?
That one, yeah. That navy blue.
Yeah, that was the year that they did that, and they wanted us to show like the process that it would be to make that. So we showed, you know, the computer image, and then the wax mold, and you know the raw casting, and it coming out of the tumble, and then with the polish with some diamonds set in it already, and then the final piece, and it was just like a whole bunch of process pieces, which are now up in Nike's headquarters, like museum situation.
Nice. Look at
Yeah,
you guys.
that was like my favorite thing that we did, and it was cool to see people's reaction of like, oh shit, like this is how you guys like, make this
Yeah.
stuff. Cool.
I think a lot of people don't get to see the process and behind the curtain. So like I love that you and Greg linked up and kind of taught you all those skills. You didn't have like jewelry experience necessarily before that, did you? Just a
No, we obviously he knew more about it than me because he was there a little before me, but like we definitely like it was definitely a learning process. So we we're still learning. Everybody, we still learn things all the time, but yeah, for sure. It was definitely some learning involved in this.
When you're making those kind of custom pendants, how how many pieces of it are actual diamonds, and do the cut, color, and clarity vary in between each piece, right? So let's say a guy, an athlete comes in, they're like, all right, my budget is, I don't know, I'm gonna make something up, $5 million, right? Whatever. I'm just throwing a random number out there. Well, a round number is easy to use, right? Is it's like, all right, how many are you telling them how many high level quality diamonds you can source? And you're like, look, we're not going to be able to get you all VVS ones here because that's just not possible. But we think the best places to put them are here. Like, how does that process go?
I mean, first off, it depends on the piece that they're looking to do. And we'll discuss it first. Our favorite customers are the ones that just tell us to do our thing. I don't have a budget, go nuts, then we can really play. When they have a budget, we might have to make the piece a little smaller or things like that. But we definitely, one thing that we never do is cut our quality at all, because we have a name behind it, and we would never sacrifice that for just to make some money off a customer. That we don't do that. So for the most part, all the pieces that we use are their VS stones and the highest color that you can get. We don't skimp anything.
Cut, color, clarity, Gabby. See that? Your
Yeah,
boy knows what's up.
exactly.
And 3 C's for a reason, Jay. Come on.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Oh man, that's dope. All right, so you're out here. You're in New York City in the Diamond District, not too far from where I am right now.
Okay.
Selling, doing your thing. How is the athlete scene where you are? Like, and does your sport fandom come into play with any of the people you work with?
Jewelry wise,
Yeah.
like, do we have sport
Yeah.
clients like that?
Athlete clients?
I mean,
Yeah.
I already know the answer is yes because I've been there when you guys have had some people pull up before. So
We just we just did Russell Westbrook's jewelry for his Met Gala outfit.
Oh, look at look at that. That's a nice flex right there.
I mean, yeah, that's we actually did him last year also, I believe. So this is the second time we're doing that for him, and I mean, we definitely have,
Relationships.
Kevin Love. I mean, I don't want to start, just
No, I got you. No, but you're tapped in.
a nice NBA clientele.
Yeah, we do.
Do you are these all guys that you knew ahead of time? Like, what's that relationship process like? I'm sure by now it's referral business by now. But
yeah, I mean, these are relationships that like Greg has built, or have come to us, from word of mouth or whatever it is, and we just keep that relationship with these people.
Yeah.
Because of the type of work that we do, and I guess the personality that we have.
Yeah. And you deliver quality for them, right? And I think the biggest thing with those guys is there's a level of privacy they also want, right? Like, you're not out here maybe stunting with every piece of theirs on like Instagram and whatever. It's kind of just like, look, man, like if they let you put it out, cool, we will. Otherwise, we're not really trying to do that.
Yeah, the thing is that our clients, for the most part, on that type of level, it's not even just like a business situation. It's almost like on some like family type of thing, friendship type of thing. It's not phony relationships. These are real relationships that we have. They come to the office, they'll kick it, for hours and just hang out and we bullshit and kick the shit, because it's just like, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's not like just doing like a business situation, business deal.
It's not just transactional, man. It's a relationship. That's the key to business.
Yep.
That's what the whole business is built on with us. It's like, I feel like that's why we keep these clients, for so long, and that's why we built it to where it is today.
I think it's that, and I think you guys know that space so well, right? Like, there's so many jewelers out there, but like they might not know the fashion world, like, but can transition from fashion to Met Gala to NBA draft to like a family party or vacation or an anniversary, and really understand that clientele. I feel like you guys do that better than anybody else.
Yeah.
But you guys don't do just jewelry. You guys like kind of do it all.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the other stuff, like between the sneakers and, I mean, I'm rocking this dope shirt today.
Yeah. So
Frost collection special.
So like, all right. So the way that I put it, so what always has separated us jewelry wise from everybody else is that we created a brand, that can be more than just jewelry. It expands into so many things. We were the only, jewelers. Greg's doing 6th Ave shoots in the middle of the street, and we're the only jewelry brand. When I say jewelry brand, I'm saying that because that's what people would originally look at us as. But like the only jewelry brand getting sneaker deals with Puma, Fila. We had Greg was on a Nike billboard. Like, this is not shit that regular jewelers are getting. So that's how you know that it's more than just that. These companies see more than just that.
I love that.
And that's what separates us, because nobody's doing that.
No, that's awesome.
That's so true. And then your personal brand, like, I know you, especially in the last couple of years, have kind of, created your own lane in addition to working with Greg. And like, I think that's super dope. Like, you guys have just a great community between you and Rachel and Greg and all the different things that you're doing.
Sure.
But talk more about like what was the inspiration for some of the pieces. Like, I've got my hand sanitizer here.
Don't dap me anymore. Hand sanitizer.
I used to use that, but that's why this stuff is so good. Like, if you guys don't, if you're not familiar, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Super.
So like I've always had my own brand, clothing wise. Even as a kid, I used to make all my own shirts and things like that, and I would sell them or give them out in the neighborhood and things like that. So I've always done that. I started taking it more seriously, within the last like 10 years or so, I would say, and starting to build it. But the concept that I'm doing right now is this hidden message situation, which is the shirt that you're wearing. It says the feeling isn't mutual, but you see the feeling is mutual. So that's like what I've been doing. And it literally took off, and during the pandemic, when a lot of people are slacking, is when I put in like the most work, and because there's nothing else to do really, but just like, put your mind to something. And that's what I did. And that's when it really like, and now I'm in Urban Outfitters. I just got a situation with Urban Outfitters. So
yeah, we saw that. Congratulations. I mean but Greg, what you're saying is you said you were making shirts and stuff when you were a kid. I'm sorry, Greg, JFrost,
okay.
My bad.
Part of it's part of the universe. That's what it is.
That's right. Part of the Greg Yuna is Freudian slip. No, but you've been an entrepreneur your whole life since you were a kid, right? That's just how your brain works and operates. So for you, it was never about. So I imagine, and you don't have to tell this story, but the whole sales thing, you probably weren't really digging that. You're probably like, this is all right.
I mean, what, my sales job before this?
Yeah, before. Listen,
I was always in sales for the most part. Like, I could sell shit, but like, I know where my heart is. Like, I know where you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I 100%. It's your passion and what you've always wanted to do, and you had that opportunity once you connected with Greg, that you were like, oh, I can do this, and now you've branched out. You got Frostbite, your show, which deals with food. You're a big foodie guy. Talk to us about the Frostbite show and how that all evolved.
Man, so all right, so like I am huge on food, right? Like, not even like a lot of people have the misconception of like I like fancy places and It's not about that. It's just like in general, I like food. I like street food. I like good restaurants. I like fancy shit, but like I like it all, But I'm the kind of guy that like people go to, like, what's the best pizza spot? What's the best halal spot? What's the best, That's like always been my thing. So I always would post on my Instagram, everything that I'm eating. If you look at my highlights on Instagram, it's all food, right? Yep. People would always be like, man, you got to tell me where this is from, or you got to tell me this and that. And I've always was like, should I do a food thing? And everybody's always telling me, do a food blog or do this or do that, and then, it just became a thing where it's like, let's freaking go for it,
And it's the power of the internet and social
Yeah.
media, and how, I mean, think about it, right? If social media didn't exist, you could have still had your own show, but the path there would have been much more arduous and a lot different. Like, it's just a matter of, you were going to put that up on Instagram
Yeah.
anyway. All right, so you did it. So now it's up. People are asking you, oh, let me do a little story. This is where it's from. Now all of a sudden, 10,000, 20,000, 50, 100. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And now people are like, yeah, we got to put you on a show. I mean, it sort of, it democratizes everything.
Sure.
And because you're just a regular guy from New York. So it's not like you're, some cultural critic, and it's like, no, man, this is the dude I know, like, who lives in my building, and we can just chat about, yeah, man, go to that spot around the corner. But that kind of authenticity and relatability makes it so much more attractive to people versus the other way.
I agree. And that's the feedback I've been getting, and that's what's making me keep doing it, because it kind of just was like, let me test this shit out, and I'm having fun with it. So
love it.
I think that's what it's about, though, is the authenticity piece, right? Like, and I feel like, I know, like, you and I DM about sneakers all the time, but I'll be like, yo, where's that vodka sauce from? I was like, that was bomb. And like, I like that you keep it real, where it's like, oh, maybe I got takeout today because I'm working late, or it's not just about, to your point, like the highly stylized flat lay and the this and the that. It's like all right. Meanwhile, even when you're talking about this, I'm like, wait, but where is the best pizza in New York?
And you'll be surprised, like, I'll get people will hit me up more about like the street food type shit in than when I go to like a good restaurant or something. They'll be like, where the hell's that from? Like in that tin,
I believe that, though. It's like that spicy rigatoni from Carbone. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But the other stuff, it's like the street food. It's more like an if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'm going to put you on the spot. Where is the best pizza in New York?
Avenue J, DeFara Pizza. Nobody's going to tell me differently. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. There's nobody telling me any different about DeFara Pizza. Their regular slices and their squares are insane. Their squares.
I'm gonna put them on pie.
Squares are insane.
That square pie.
Okay. Write that down, folks.
There's a bunch of other ones too.
All
Don't
right,
get me wrong. Like, we're talking New York pizza. Like, there's tons of shit, but like, I'm gonna vouch for DeFara always. Also, rest in peace, Dom, the owner, recently passed away. He was making pizzas till he was 82 years old. So, the guy's a legend.
Wow, look at that, folks. Look at that. Well, you come to New York City, Avenue J, DeFara, head over there, get yourself a square or a regular slice. Don't matter. It's going to be good. All right. And uncut gems. All right. I'm going to flip it on you now. Where is the best chocolate chip cookie in New York City?
I just did a Frostbites at Chip City, which is a pretty fairly new cookie spot. They got like the cookie itself kind of looks like the top of a muffin, let's say, but it's like crispy on the outside, and then when you crack that thing open, it's like how the fuck is this not the best cookie? Like, it's amazing. So they're right now. Those are my favorite chocolate chip cookies for sure. Like, Chip City. They have like 11 locations, so you'll find.
See that, folks? Look at the knowledge you're getting here on this show. All right, so we're not going to let you get out of here on this, at least on this segment, without talking about some sports. You got your Yankee hat on, so how you feeling about the Yanks? I mean, right, most wins in MLB right now.
That, I do know that much about it, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. I haven't followed baseball in forever. I'm from New York, so you're always gonna catch me with a Yankee hat.
I got you.
For the most part, I'll go to games here and there and shit like that, but I'm definitely not hardcore into it. Like I was never like super hardcore into it, but I definitely knew more shit like when Jeter was playing and all that shit. Yeah, but I do know that they're doing really well right now. How could I not? I'm looking around.
You're like, so I'm happy with that.
Shit, anyway, even if I did.
What about hoops? You a Knicks guy?
I'm a Nets guy.
Okay. Gabby's like,
so look, here's the thing. Again, yes, I'm a Nets fan. I was a Nets fan when they were in Jersey, because I'm a huge. I say huge, but like, you'll ask me shit, and I'm like, I definitely fell off how I used to be, but I was a big Jason Kidd fan.
Okay.
Again, like, I don't do the hype shit. Jason Kidd, one of my favorite players of all time. He was a great, all around player. He didn't give that much of a shit about scoring. He wanted to make sure everybody else scored, so he was just like a real team player with the most assists and all that stuff. And then when they moved over to Brooklyn, I'm from Brooklyn. It's like, no, I'm gonna be a
right. So you said
Nets
easy, no brainer.
I get
I like
that.
it.
On the other side of the river, I'm like, they left us. They left us in
Yeah,
Jersey.
but you
so-
know, shit like that. Also, I'm not like, listen, I'm not against the Knicks or anything like that. Like I went to the Knicks game. Like
Right.
I'm a New York fan. Like whatever.
Right. I
I
got
respect
you.
that. I like that.
New York over
Yeah.
everything. I'm with you.
Just
All
not
right,
the Island.
folks. Listen, man, you just got some gems from JFrost, but stick around because coming up next, America's favorite segment, Shoe and Tell, presented by Another Lane, the premier digital marketplace for dope kicks. Now, I have a feeling he's going to have some New York kind of vibe shoes. He's wearing Uptowns right now, so that's already out there. But I got a feeling, guys. But anyway, stay tuned. What's good, y'all? We are back, and you know what time it is. America's favorite segment, Shoe and Tell, presented by Another Lane. You like that, right? I had a pen, like a little pointer. I was writing and doing something, and I was like, oh,
Get
crap.
ready, Jay.
I'm like, the pen's still in my hand. Let me talk about it. Listen, y'all know about Chad and Dina Jones, Sneaker Galactus, Mrs. Sneaker Galactus, doing their thing. Make sure you head over to anotherlane.com, check it out, find out all the information about what they're doing. Great stuff in the sneaker community. Now, Jay,
Yo.
this is your show now. So you just show us what you got. Tell us why you like it. The floor is yours, my man.
Got you. Again, I will state this again. I am not with the hype shit. All right. You guys are going to learn today. And when I say you guys are watching this shit, I'm not with the hype shit, man. I'm with the genuine passion for the game and for the shit that I enjoy. All right. So I ain't pulling out no off whites right now, even though I got a couple pairs. I'm not.
Wait, that's my favorite thing. Wait, I got them, but I ain't gonna pull them out.
Yeah, I got a couple, like the ones that I really fuck with, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, and things like that. All right, so we're gonna start off with my favorite sneaker of all time, which I mentioned in the first segment.
Yes.
We got a fresh pair.
Ooh,
Brand new out the box.
Love the Air More Up Tempo. Second time I'm seeing those today.
Say again?
Second time I'm seeing those today. I was out running this morning. I was like, oh, look at my man with his Air More Up Tempos.
These are the Air More Up Tempos, the original color. And I'm gonna tell you real quick. What am I supposed to talk about? Like how I like.
Well, you know why you like it so much.
All the things about all the things.
Cool. Easy peasy. You ready? So, I remember being in, I believe, 4th or 5th grade. Do you guys remember the East Bay catalog?
Of course.
Okay. There's a lot of people that don't know about the East Bay catalog, right?
Are you a sneaker person if you don't know about that East Bay
Saying
catalog?
that was the only way to like really see what's
Yeah.
going on, right? So I was scrolling through this East Bay catalog that I subscribed to and I was getting all the time. And I came across these in there, right? Because that's the only way you knew shit was coming out when you went to this shit. I saw this and I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, I remember specifically in my head being like, the fucking balls that Nike has to write the word air so big on this fucking sneaker. I want those so bad. I wanted it so bad. And I literally used to sketch sneakers all the time. Like I was just big on sneakers. Like the air bubbles for me are just like, that shit is everything to me. Like literally, like I used to look for shoes with the most fucking air bubbles because it was just fire to me. You know? This is the best sneaker of all time. And when I say that, and again, fuck the hype shit, but this was my favorite sneaker way before fucking Supreme hyped it up and did their own shit, which those were cool, whatever. But like, that's when the majority of people that liked sneakers and all that shit started getting put onto these. Now they come out in every fucking color, all this shit.
Every color. They're on Euphoria.
Yep.
Which is
all over Euphoria. They're all over Euphoria season 2.
Yes. And like I'm not mad at it because it's like, yo, let my favorite shoe flourish. Like I don't care. But this was my
You were on it. You were on it early. You've been on that game way before it got
5th
popular.
grade, man. And I know that because they didn't even have all the bubbles. I was mad because my boy in school had a bigger fucking foot. You know, he sprouted fucking early and he had all the bubbles.
That's the grown-up size versus that grade school size.
That's it.
Back in the day.
Fucking half a size apart or a size apart. He had the fire shit and I had the weak ass, but I had him. I got pictures.
Yeah, your size has a Y next to it. You're like, why are you using shit out of my
Why are there no bubbles? Yes.
Why are there no bubbles? Yep.
Very good. So that's my favorite sneaker of all time. Nobody's gonna ever fucking change that.
I feel like you shot a 3-pointer with that sneaker, by the way. I don't know what that is over there.
Yeah, it's right.
We love it. We love it.
Okay, next. We're gonna get. Let me keep it regular for a second. Okay, so we're gonna keep it with the black and red 12s, which now everyone with this bread bullshit, but they're black and red 12s. I don't know where the fuck that came from. I don't understand it. There was never nicknames like that with colors, but whatever.
It's Gen Z. They don't want to say full words
This was
anymore.
this was fucking black and red 12s, right? Which I remember being able to walk into fucking Modell's at 6 o'clock at night and grab these with no problem. Not wait online.
Remember those days?
Yeah, now you ain't buying no Jordans on no shelves at Modell. I mean, wait, does Modell's even exist
closed
anymore?
down.
Oh yeah,
That makes me very sad.
Shout out to Modell.
But here's a side fucking creep note here that is gonna change everything right now, and you let me know. Maybe somebody's spoken about this on your podcast before, but
this is our first creep note, so probably
not. Again?
This is our first creep note, so I don't know. I think we're gonna get an uncut.
It's definitely a little weird and creepy, but best smelling Jordans of all time are the Jordan 12s.
Okay. That is the first time on here. First time we heard that.
The glue.
All colorways or just this colorway?
Every Jordan 12.
Okay.
I mean,
test. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put that to Sneaker Galactus. See what he says. Like, Chad, what do you think about that, bro?
Factory glue smell on the 12s.
JFrost getting high off the factory glue right now on his 12s.
Don't kill me for this one though, but that is the best smelling Jordan of all time. Fucking nobody's gonna tell me differently on that either.
I'll say we have to do an ASMR for the after.
Not a real sneakerhead anyway. Okay, what's next? Well,
only feats. That's what's going on.
Only feats. Yep.
Jesus. We mentioned Jordan 4s were the first Jordan that I remember buying like myself in like junior high school, and we spoke about the breads or whatever. I'm not gonna pull out the breads, but I will show you probably one of the best colors they've done, the best colorways. And you tell me if I'm bugging, but this is like.
I knew I was. Yeah,
that is Gabby's jam.
Like,
that is one of my.
It's really like one of the best things they've done with a 4 in a long time. Like, there's tons of 4s that are fire. A lot of 4s are fire, like the white.
I mean, these are literally the fire Jordans.
These are just
fire.
It's so freaking clean, man. Like, the Nubuck is just so like. It's just clean.
Yep, that is Gabby. You knew that was coming, huh? That's your jam.
I was hoping
they don't even crease, and they're just fire.
I know they nice.
Wait, hold that up for 1 second, because I know we were talking about midsoles with the bubbles. So when I got my pair, I thought I got because I don't have that extra hump in the midsole of mine, because I have a Y next to the size. I got those sizes, so it's a little bit different.
You don't got the hump. Perfect. No hump.
Yeah. No bump.
But yeah. Love though.
Shout out to Nike for the Air technology, man. Remember when that first came out? Everybody was like, "Yo, look at that! It's got a bubble."
Let's talk about how back in the day, you can send a popped air bubble into Nike and they ship you a new pair.
It's true.
It's true. Pop those fucking air bubbles when the shit's got dirty. You do a little pin situation, a little on the side. Shout out to my cousin, put me onto that shit. He used to pop these air bubbles. My cousin Merrick used to. I don't know if he's even remember that, but he told me that. I remember having this conversation with him. He might not remember, but like he used to pop air bubbles and then we send them back. Nike caught on to that shit though. Like everybody was.
Oh yeah, they were like, yeah, nah, you ain't.
Yeah, they used to put them through like some sort of forensics test. Like, nah, bro, you did that shit yourself. Like,
the pin dot right there.
Yeah, but you used to send like, yo, you could literally send these back, say something's wrong with them or whatever. And they'll ship you a new pair, and if they don't have that color, they'll ship you the newest color.
They're hip to the game now, though.
Yes, they might still be able to do shit like that, but not like pop it yourself. But you might, send back shoes, and they send. I don't know.
All right, what we got next?
All right, now we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Damn. Yeah.
I checked to say I think this might be my favorite shoe and tell segment ever.
Yeah, you're loving it.
For all of this
very cool. We're switching it up. We're going to Reebok real quick. What?
Like it.
Like I said, I ain't doing the hype shit, but
I feel like this is for you, Jay.
Oh,
Got the Reebok Shaqnosis. Now this is my favorite Shaq sneaker, even though I got some pumps and shit like that. But this is my favorite Shaq sneaker. Again, this is like the same type of situation to me as the Air Really Big. I just gravitate towards like this like crazy shit. I thought that was so cool.
It's bold.
And Shaq's 20-something foot, he used to put these shits on. It was just like nuts, you know? So.
Love it.
I love that.
Love that. Bold. Excellent choice. With the Shaq logo pulling down the rim there.
These are really comfortable. And this was before Shaq went with his own brand in Payless and shit like that. Because he has the same logo. He took that whole situation. That's where Shaq made the majority of his money. If you look that up,
oh yeah,
he made some stupid money off that Payless Shaq shoe deal.
Shaq is a very smart businessman.
I was going to say, he's a very smart businessman, like across the board.
He used to shit on him like, oh, you're in Payless. He's hundreds of millions off that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Paying more for that shit. That's
he like I don't care. It's not Nike or Reebok. I've got hundreds of millions of dollars.
I think he still has some kind of Reebok situation because they keep putting they've been putting out like the Shaqnosis with his logo. So I don't know. Okay, these last ones are probably something that you're not even close to thinking I'm pulling out because again, it is not hyped at all. This is like
we like no hype.
No idea where we're going with this at this point. So
are you guys familiar with the Air Max 2 up tempos?
Yo, look, see, this is how you know someone is a real sneakerhead, right? Like when they're pulling out their collection, and again, he mentioned, of course, he's got some off-whites and whatever, and there's a Jordan 4 in there and blah, blah, blah. But yo, again, shout out to our boy Waz. If you're really into sneakers, all your stuff ain't gonna be the hype stuff. If you're really into this. And you can see that.
If they drop again, I'm gonna grab like 2 pairs. Like these are my favorite. These are like my favorite go-to sneakers. Like I don't think you guys understand. Just this colorway. Like I have a few of these, like different colorways, but just this colorway where it's got like the blue and the yellow bubble. It's a little fogged up because these haven't dropped in a minute, but like, and it's got like the blue netting. Hits are so fire, bro. Like so fire. I can't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you're gonna have people on here and they're just showing all the crazy like shit everybody's seen. Like, you haven't seen those in a minute.
Have not. No, and that is. But again, that's how you know you like what you like what you like, right? Because
100%. Nobody's ever gonna change my mind where it's like, oh, you have to wear what this and that. I wear whatever the hell I like, and that's it.
That's the reality, people.
Wear your sneakers.
JFrost is telling you, it don't matter about those other things. Wear what you like. It doesn't matter what the hype things are. If you don't like the hype things, forget that.
Go like I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna put this shit out there. Everybody talks shit about fucking what is it like Jordan mids and shit. Like, bro,
the mids.
I stand for mids. Oh, let's go.
Let me explain something. Mids. Like I have some mids. All right, I'm gonna wear mids. I like mids. I don't know where the fuck that even came from, bro. Like some of the hot shit.
I don't know where
some of the hottest shits are mids, bro. Like I got wild ass Jordan 1 mids. I got wild ass Air Force 1 mids. Are you kidding me? Like the fucking ones. Can I grab one more real quick?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have to say, you know what nobody talks about though, and Jay, I feel like we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
4s.
Yeah.
Kind of a mid. Let's be honest.
I mean, 4s, 3s. Yeah. That's listen. I prefer a mid. Listen, I love the OG ones. I love highs, but like, yo, a mid, they wear better. Me personally,
bro. Like, with the NYC on it, with the fucking these are on. Daisy had that picture in the projects with these on. Laying in the lounge chair with the quarter waters. Like, are you kidding me?
But nobody hates on Air Force 1 mids though. That's the thing that's so funny to me. Like that's a mid that nobody talks about.
Right. Jordan 1s for whatever reason. That's because when Jordan 1s became like the go-to shoe, like you said it the other day, right? You were not the other day, but last year when you're flying to LA for SneakerCon, I knew I was going to SneakerCon because everybody had Jordan 1s on the plane, right? It's like when it became the shoe that everybody decided was like the shoe, that's when it like all that mid stuff hate came in. It's like,
I just feel like I cannot take someone seriously who is on the Air Jordan 2 bandwagon if they're going to hate on Air Jordan 1 mid.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, you do not get to be a part of this conversation.
Don't even get me started on 2s. Like I am a 2 fan, bro. Like, I am so excited. They're starting to bring some 2s out.
They are.
Right now, I do not really stand for 2s myself. They're not my vibe, but that's okay.
Listen, you like what you like. But yo, Jay, man, this has been a pleasure. Tell the people where they can find you and all the stuff you're doing.
So my Instagram is the letter J and then Frost. So JFrost, the word Brooklyn spelled out. JFrost Brooklyn. And for my merch and things like that, the website is j-frost.com. And for all things jewelry, it is gregyuna.com.
That's right.
Look at that. Look at that, man. No, this was a pleasure, man. We really appreciate having you on. And folks, we are part of the Count the Dings family. Of course, you can find us there. Our podcasts are on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that stuff. You can find us there with Woke Bros, with the Original Bomb Show, with Crypto Bros, with the Winning Time Podcast, and with Rap Names, and of course us. And we are at Kicks and Shit Show on all social media platforms. And until next time, peace.